What up, family? It's Sensei from Rod Fit Nation. Welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to take a ride and we're going to talk about safety things to look out for as a motorcycle rider. Maybe you are a new rider. Maybe you're thinking about buying a motorcycle. Maybe you've heard some horror stories. Maybe you are already a seasoned rider. And maybe you are somebody who just wants to know a little bit about riding. Well, motorcycle riding is pretty straightforward. The bike goes straight, the bike turns. The more power you put to the back wheel, the bike will balance itself. The bike will never have to be balanced by you until you're going slow. But once you're moving and your hand is off that clutch, no brakes applied, then you are moving your bike and the bike is moving you. All right, so motorcycle riding is fun. It is. It's a great way to connect to earth. It's a great way to feel great. It's a great way to feel alive, right? There are days where we don't feel like we want to do anything, where our spirits don't feel like we want to do much of anything except just get out on the road and ride our bikes. Now, it doesn't matter the kind of bike you have. Everybody has reasons to get on their bikes and ride. Some people, that's their only transportation. They don't have a car, they don't have a truck, they don't have nothing except that motorcycle. So everybody rides motorcycles for different reasons. But what I want to touch on today is some safety tips. And not even tips, just things to be mindful of. Like, for example, and I'm not going in any specific order. I'm not going like who's number one, who's number two. I'm not doing any of that. All right. This is just the conversation that we're having. And we're going to talk about just the bike riding and things to be mindful of. Number one, did you know that most fatalities on motorcycles happens during when a vehicle is making a left turn? It doesn't matter if the car is coming out from a driveway, a parking lot, about to make the left turn at the light. Most fatalities happens when a vehicle is making a left turn. Now look, my motorcycle was a bright orange motorcycle, the one that I'm riding right now. You would assume, right, that people will see you. You would assume that people will be able to see you coming and you ain't got to worry about nothing. Plus the pipes I have on here is pretty heavy sounding pipes. So you would think nothing. But here's the thing. If people don't see other big cars, then they damn sure is not going to see a small motorcycle. So it's up to you to be cautious. Don't make the assumption that they see you coming. Make sure you wave your hands up. Do something or slow down. Don't assume they see you. The next thing is head-on collisions. The head-on collision still points into that left turn and, a car not paying attention and going to the wrong lane, or the motorcyclist not paying attention and going to the wrong lane. These are the things that you have to be mindful of. When it comes to riding your motorcycle, you have to be mindful of the terrain. Understand the kind of motorcycle you have. Guys, I'm going through this as I'm talking, right? I have no list in front of me. I'm riding, I'm moving slow, and we're having this talk. Understand your terrain. Know the kind of motorcycle that you have. This motorcycle, I know for a fact, is not designed for off-road. This motorcycle is a straight monster when it comes to riding long distance on pavement. If it's gravel, it ain't going to perform well. If it's grass, it's not going to perform well. It's not designed for that. Can you ride it? Of course you can. But will you get the performance from it? No, you won't. When you have the adventure bikes, the dual sport bikes, those are good for on-road, off-road. You got the dirt bikes, those are good for the dirt. Knowing your bikes, know the terrain, understand the area where you're riding your motorcycle. Because all of these things boils down into safety. They all boil down to safety. They all come down to how much you are paying attention to your surroundings. Use your eyes. Sometimes it could be oil. Sometimes it could be snow. It could be black ice. There are so many things when it comes to riding your bike that you have to be careful of. Okay? Safety to me, it's important. Like right now, I'm stopping. I'm looking to my left. I'm looking to my right. There's a car coming. He's about to make the right turn. You can't see it. But just because he has the indicator on, I'm not going to assume that he's going to make the right turn right now. Maybe he had the indicator on before he got up here. And maybe he's not making the right turn. You see what I'm saying? So just use your eyes, man. Be aware of your environment. That's the next thing I'm trying to tell y'all. Another thing when it comes to motorcycle safety, it's avoiding drinking alcohol. Don't drink alcohol when you know you're about to ride. I don't care if it's one beer. And there are many reasons. Your vision will change. Your motor skills will definitely change. You might think it doesn't change. And let's face the fact, if something happens and they run a test, an alcohol test on you, and they find out you had alcohol in your system, let's say you had to fight somebody for the rest of your life. Let's say you got into an accident. Let's say you had to hurt somebody. Heck, let's say you had to shoot somebody because they was trying to hurt you and take your life. Guess what? They are going to put the blame on the motorcyclist first because we are thugs according to society, right? And the second they find a little bit of alcohol in your system, that's when things are going to go crazy. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of looking at yourself and saying, all right, I'm going to drink water. I'm going to drink some fruit punch, drink some lemonade, be like Sensei, and I'll save the alcohol for later. When you go out with your buddies, just don't drink. You don't have to do that. You can do that at home safely. Get back home to your family. Another thing for motorcycle riding safety to me is never ride when you're angry. I understand they say wind therapy, go out there and go ride and get some wind therapy. Yeah, do that when you're calmed down. Because just like alcohol, when you're riding angry, your whole entire response time is impaired. You're not going to be as responsive. You're riding with aggression. And you can make a mistake that can be fatal, not only for you, but it can be fatal for others. So don't ride when you are angry. That's just the facts. Another thing too, when I think about motorcycle safety, and guys, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments. What are some of the things that you can put on this list for new riders and people who's thinking about riding? What are some of the things that you can put? And by no means are these things designed to scare you. They're just making you aware. Because I'll tell you one thing about motorcycle riding, not all, but almost every rider that gets on their motorcycle goes on their motorcycle with the understanding that this might be the day that they're not going to make it back home. We understand that. Why? Because guess what? When you're in a car and somebody come hit you from the side, they can hit you at 60 miles an hour. You can survive. If somebody hit you from the side of the motorcycle at 60 miles an hour, your chance of survival is minimal to none. And if you survive, then you're going to be a cabbage. So we understand that when it comes to bike riding, we take the chances. Okay? So, and speaking of taking the chances, right now, I'm breaking some of the rules of motorcycle riding. Yes, I have my helmet on, but a lot of injuries that happens in motorcycle collisions, riders are actually riding helmets. They actually have their helmets on, but they die from internal bleeding, the swelling of the brain, and they can't get the swelling down. So, when I'm saying I'm breaking the rules, I don't have on my jacket. I don't have on a protective gear. And here's another issue with that, right? I know that I should wear protective gear. I'm dumb. I know I am. I'm dumb. But once again, I'm taking the chances. Is it smart? Hell no, it's not. And here's the thing too. I noticed that the race bikes, the guys tend to wear more protective gears. The adventure bikes, the guys tend to wear more protective gears. And us dumbass us dumbass bagger riders, we tend to want to ride sexy. T-shirts, our vest on. All of a sudden, we're not riding with our protective gear, and we should. I'm gonna find me a nice fitted leather jacket that I could put on and rock all year round, especially one for the summertime. Get a summer rider because I have a winter rider. So my point is, get the protective gear, the gloves. Get as a beginner, the boots I have on are high ankle boots, which protects the ankles, steel toe. Okay, but I have on some protective gear. But if I go down, oh man, I'm rashed. I'm rashed up. And this is going for all the rest of us who just be out there trying to pose. I saw a guy yesterday, as a matter of fact, riding on the 75. This dude had on no shirt, moving at about 80 miles an hour. And that to me is his prerogative. But I'm just saying, no shirt. There's no difference in me having on no leather. You see what I'm saying? So We got to make better choices. All of us have to make better choices. And I'm not afraid to talk about where I need help at, where I'm guilty from. All of us. I mean, all of us. Because it doesn't take a lot to get hurt. Another thing, too, is speeding for no reason. Unnecessary speeding can get you killed in a blink of an eye. Now, there are times that you want to speed. When I'm on the highway and I'm going long distance and I'm on the far left, I'm moving at 80 miles an hour. I'm pretty comfortable with 80 miles an hour. I don't really ever have to really go to 90, which I do every now and then. But I don't really ever really have to do that speed and move at 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. I hear guys bragging about, yeah, man, we're moving 100 miles an hour. Okay, you'd be 100 miles an hour and 100 miles of pieces. 100 pieces per every mile. That would be you, splattered. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to do that. There's no need to speed unnecessarily. Now, if I want to take off and overtake something, a vehicle, or get out the way really quickly, I should be able to do that, right? I should be able to have enough power to do that and downshift into gear. But no need for unnecessary speeding. I'm going through the list. As I'm riding, my brain is just building on more and more and more and more. Another thing for you to be mindful of when it comes to riding and safety with riding, they say safety in numbers, and I'm going to call BS on that, right? Safety in numbers, I get it, and I get it, but I don't agree. It all depends on who you're riding with. It depends on the number of the people you're riding with and the skills of the people you're riding with. Because not everybody knows how to ride their motorcycle in a group setting. And some people can create more chaos. And let's face the facts. If something happens to your motorcycle, you can have 100 guys. And some guys might be able to fix certain things and get you back on the road. But if you get a major flat tire, your clutch goes out, you're still by yourself anyway. There's going to be a whole bunch of people on the side of the road creating more chaos on the highway because, people can't mind their business. And people are going to be looking, and next thing you know, they're going to crash into the group. So safety in numbers can be utilized for certain things, of course, but it's not always the truth. My new riders, don't ride with just anybody. And when you see people that's riding chaotic and doing the excessive revving of their motor, I can't stand when people is revving their motor for no damn reason. Why do guys do that? Why do guys ride in communities or wherever and it's just revving them, boom, 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 boom? Come on, man, that's childish. Grown people. I understand when we were younger and you're riding the race bikes. I get that, but we're grown men and we're revving out. That's my own personal thing. Okay, my own personal thing. Safety is essential for us to pay attention to it as much as we can. Like right now, I'm coming up to this light. I don't know what's coming. I'm still going to stop because there's a little trail behind me. And it could be a horse coming by, a dog coming by. I'm not just going to fly through. I'm going to take my time. I'm in the country. And I got a question for you. Speaking of country, where do you think is the most safest place, right, to ride your motorcycle? In the city or in the country? If you said the country, you're right and you're wrong. If you said the city, you're wrong. The city really is the most dangerous place, right? And I'll explain the answer, my answer. Remember, I'm only giving my opinion, okay? The city, I used to live in the city, the Bronx, Manhattan, all these places I traveled, right? And you would be on the road and you got cars coming from the right, cars coming from the left. There's a whole lot of intersections, a lot of red lights, a lot of green lights, a lot of yellow lights, a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of things. There's things all over the place in the city life. So your chance of getting into an accident goes up. But when you are riding in the country, well, let me go back. In the city, it's more risky during the daytime when it's really busy. You might stand a better chance riding during off hours. But in the country now, why I said wrong and right? The country, like right now I'm cruising. A deer can come flying the hell out at no given time, any given time. Also, in the nighttime is when I don't want to ride country roads much because you got to deal with not only deers, you got to deal with possums, you got to deal with snakes. Depending on where you live, you got to deal with a big black bear coming down the road. You got to deal with elks. You got to deal with all kinds of stuff. Man, I got this crazy itch on the tip of my nose. It's annoying as heck. But you got to deal with a lot of things, right? So there's nothing really known as a safe place to ride unless you're riding in your dreams. So at all times, you have to be aware and you have to use caution. Of course, you can't prevent everything from happening, but when you're cautious, you're utilizing that caution. Now you can be more aware. Like, I know that this trail is coming up right here, the one I spoke about earlier, and there's a driveway here, another road, should I say? But I don't see nothing coming. I already see it already. My eyes is already seeing it. I see 2 tractors right here to my right. They're off. But guess what? In my brain, I'm like, if they're on and this happen to pop out of nowhere, I want to be ready to swerve and move. And speaking of swerving and moving, you have to know how to counterbalance your bike. If I have my bike and I do like this, if I go like this, it's going to move me to the left. If I go like this, it's going to move me to the right. That's what counterbalancing is, right? When you're counterbalancing your motorcycle, I can use one hand and I can just gently touch the right side. The bike will move the way I want it to move. If I touch the left side and pull it towards me, it's going to move towards the right. Right now I'm coming up to a speed bump. Guess what? That's another thing to look for, speed bumps. These things can knock you off the bike. So you understand how many things there are when it comes to you and the safety of yourself. I'm not even going to touch on riding 2-up. I'm not even going to touch on that because that's a whole different monster of its own. That's a whole different video. If you're really thinking about riding a motorcycle, you just started your motorcycle, just started riding, ride your own ride. Don't ride your motorcycle like everybody else or the way you think they want you to ride. Don't let somebody else dictate that. Oh, and even worse, if you're thinking about joining a club and you're riding with a club and you think that the guys riding the club, they ride hard, because a lot of club members, they ride hard. And you think because the guys are riding hard, you got to ride hard? No, because guess what? Club, no club, if you get into a major accident, those guys are going to be there talking about, yeah, brother. They're going to use that word brother as much as the devil used love. Ain't no real love there. Ain't no real brotherhood there. Because when certain things happen to you, you know what's going to happen? They're going to be there with you for the first week, maybe the first month. If you're lucky, you might get lucky and have a squad of guys that will be there with you for the first year, if you're lucky. But after a while, all that brother disappears. It disappears. So you don't need to put your life on the line to impress no man, no woman. Focus on you. Do your own ride. Like when I'm working out with people, I tell them, don't do what I do. I'm a different alien. My training regimen is different. But if you try to train like the way I train, chances are you're going to get hurt. And if you're more advanced than me, I'm not going to try to show off and try to train the way you train, because chances are I'm going to get hurt. Ride your ride. This is the reason why I enjoy being a solo rider the majority of the times. Yes, I can ride with a group of guys. Yes, I can ride with a group of people, but I want to make sure we're riding safe. And the best way to ride safe in a group is by riding speed limit, maybe a little bit over speed limit. But when you start speeding for no reason, then all of a sudden you got chaos, because things can happen at the blink of an eye. You see what I'm saying? So check yourself, guys. Be mindful of what you're doing on your motorcycle. You only have 2 wheels. You don't have 4. You only have 2. And it's you in the wind. You in the wind. That's why we call it that wind therapy. You get that wind in your face. It's what it's all about. I'm a big fan. Let me tell you something. I'm a huge fan of motorcycles. But I went through my phases where I had my bike, sold my bikes. Had my bike, sold my bikes. The last time I sold my bikes, I had promised myself I'm never buying a bike again, because people are not paying attention anymore, and every time I look online, there's somebody who got killed in a motorcycle. But then I went ahead and bought my Road Glide, and then I bought me a Softail, and now I'm looking for an adventure bike, which is even more dangerous to be on an adventure bike, right? However, I might wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I'm selling all my bikes. I'm selling my Lyft, I'm selling everything, and I'm good without a motorcycle. And then I buy another motorcycle again, maybe a year from now. That's just how I'm designed. I go by my spirit. You see what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, people are just not paying attention to riders anymore. People are not caring. They will run you over by yourself. They will run you over with a group. And if you're riding in the group and that group is obnoxious and that group think they own the road, the highway, you're going to find somebody who's really angry, probably lost their job, their mother just died, they broke up with their wife, they stepped in a pile of doo-doo, they realized they came outside, their car's low in gas, they're mad, their whole life is feeling done, and they will done you and your squad right along with them. So don't assume, that you're riding and you're protected because you're riding with a big squad. Don't assume that. And look, I'm riding right now, and I'm telling you, I can't make it up. There's a deer looking right, two of them. I wish I had my other camera to give y'all the angle. But two of them was right there in the road, just looking at me. Like, who? Look at that pretty orange bike. I wonder if that's Sensei. Let's say hello to him. No deers. Keep on going your direction, and I'll go mine. You see what I'm saying? And I know that this area have a lot of deers. That's why I say know your terrain. Know where you are. I hope that you can find the things that I'm talking about in this video helpful, because my mission on this channel is to educate you guys on everything motorcycle, everything fitness, and to show you how I save money in my life and how I make money. And I'm not afraid to teach that and learn more, because that's how we all get along. And I'm going to go off this topic now and go on a different topic real quick. And this is about the comment section in the channel. Most of you guys, you comment really well. And when I respond back, some of y'all be getting in y'all feelings. Stop getting in y'all feelings when I comment back to y'all. This is what it's about. This is what the community is about. Don't get in your feelings. Don't get all in your emotions. Don't get twisted. Don't respond back with your anger, because that doesn't do anything. That doesn't solve anything. I'm not here for that. My whole concept is for us to build a community and agree to disagree. That's it. I made that video about the black and white, and some of y'all decide y'all want to go in there and start some issues. But you can start it with me. I don't mind. That's me. Listen, I'm good. Just understand that I'm going to respond back to you, and that's what it's about. We're supposed to be kind with each other. Don't be afraid to be loving with each other. Yeah, we men, and society teaches us to believe that, men are not supposed to be loving. We're supposed to be tough. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't know about you, but y'all don't want to see me in the angry mode. I don't think y'all want to see a sensei being evil and disrespectful and being a killer and doing this. I don't think y'all ever want to see that side of me, and I don't want to see that side of me. So for me, I enjoy being the guy that I am. I enjoy being down to earth, peaceful, loving, kind, respectful, real as hell, and I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But don't be getting in y'all feelings in the comment section. This channel ain't like everybody else's channel. All right, I get involved with you guys. This is what it's about. I get involved with everything that we're doing. I just wanted to touch base on that real quick. And by the way, like I said, I have the Ride Fit Nation group me thread. That's in the link. Click that. And then I also have the group me thread for the Softail riders and Dyna riders. So if you got a Softail, you got a Dyna, join the group, man. Get in there, because I want to start getting some Softails and Dynas so we can roll through Georgia and go to some connecting states. All right? Don't be afraid to join. Post your photo, say what up, and get ready to ride, man. Get ready to eat. Get ready to do stuff, because that's what it's about. Wee. Like a big kid on his bike. But yo, anyway, leave it in the comments. What are some tips that you got? Something that I didn't touch on yet. Let me know what you feel about safety, what you feel like new riders should be mindful of, what you feel like, like people who've been riding for years. What are some of the mistakes you see that people who've been riding for years making, right? Because none of us is perfect. Anybody you see acting perfect, they're from another planet, all right? So let's go. Let's get these miles. Let's get this money. Let's get this muscle. We out of here, baby. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna keep on posting these videos. Leave me some comments on some content that you think would be really good to record, and we'll get after that. All right? Don't forget, leave those comments. Peace.